Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with yet another first impression video, and today's review is on the Bourjois Air Mat Foundation. Just it looks like so. I believe this is fairly new. I've been hearing quite a few people talk about it. It has an undetectable matte finish to it supposedly, so I wanted to test it out. One of the main people that I follow on Instagram, Do You Even Blend, she is amazing and she highly recommends this foundation, so I was just like, I need to get it, so to try it out. So if you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Louise and please subscribe. These videos I basically just apply the product and come back throughout the day giving you my results and also my review of the product the very first time of wearing it. So what I do to start with is apply a primer to one side of my face. So today I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Skin Perfection Magic Touch Instant Blur, and I use this all the time to help minimize the pores and texture on my skin. So I'm going to apply the primer to this side of my face, I think, today. Just blend this product into the skin, my face. Okay, so this is the primed side, this is the unprimed side. So I picked this up in the shade Rose Ivory, which is the #1. I think it'll be a fairly good match. It might be a little bit more yellow toned, but basically it just says it's a fresh and lightweight matte finish, 24-hour hold. As light as air, the formula glides onto the skin for a matte finish. Perfect coverage and a flawless complexion, no mask effect. I'm not sure if I'm going to apply it with a brush or a sponge yet. I think I might try both. So all it is it's a squeezy tube. I'm just going to take the metal off. All I'm going to do is just shake the bottle just to make sure that it hasn't sort of separated while it's been in shipping or in the store. And then all I'm going to do is just squeeze it onto my skin. So I'm just going to tuck my hair behind my ears. Fairly yellow tone, so I'm not sure how much I'll need. So I'm just going to go in with a fairly small amount, but it's quite a runny consistency, like it easily came out of the tube. So I'm just going to go in with a beauty blender to start with. I'm going to start my chin. I don't know if I like it with the beauty blender. It does look quite yellow toned. I'm going to go in with a round top kabuki style brush. Yeah, it's definitely way too yellow toned for me. It'll be okay if I've got a bit of a tan, I think. Right now I'm pretty pale, so I'm just going to take it down my neck as well. It's not my favourite product. It feels like it sort of sets on the skin, so it's probably best to do sort of one area at a time rather than squeeze it all over your face like I did. For the paler shade, it's actually quite tan. Like, is that just because I am pale right now? Or? It's not my favourite how it blends out, I must admit. You do have to work with the product quite a bit. So that was all of the product that I applied on my face blended out. So I'm now just going to see if I can build up some coverage, because it doesn't look very full coverage at all at the moment. I have some redness and discoloration around here and on my nose. Kind of just looks like it's clinging to certain patches, so I'm going to go in with a beauty blender, see if this helps now, but so far it's sort of a meh product. I feel like you have to apply a lot of foundation to your skin, because I just feel like it's just coming straight off. I don't know what brush is best to apply it with, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's try my flat top. It just feels like you apply it and then it just lifts straight off, which obviously I don't like. Another fact is I'm having to apply a lot more product to build up a fairly good coverage. I don't know the best way to use it. So that's not too bad now, what I've just done on my nose with the flat top, but I can still see all the discoloration in my skin, plus it doesn't help that it's a darker toned foundation, so it's kind of thrown me off as well. But there's just not a lot of coverage on it, not that I found anyway, but then the more you build it up, the darker it becomes. For the fairest colour foundation, it's actually fairly dark. Like, I look really cakey at the moment and a bit orange. I might completely fall in love with it, but just not the colour. So far, I dislike it. I'll zoom you in so you can have a look. But it just seems to be clinging to certain patches of my skin. I kind of feel like I'm a bit like a Simpson because I'm a little bit more yellow toned. I'm not used to being so yellow toned. But yeah, I kind of feel like it clings to patches, doesn't blend out well. When you try and blend it out, it just kind of lifts the product up. So I don't know how Do You Even Blend uses it, but I so far do not like it. So I'm just going over with my beauty blender, as you can see. Try and blend any of the patches. I would say it has kind of set. I don't really see much of a difference between the two sides. So this is the prime side, this is the unprime side. I wouldn't say it's great coverage, or it's not coverage that I particularly like right now. I mean, I can't feel it on my skin, but the colour does transfer, so it kind of feels like it's set, but the colour does transfer onto your fingers. But yeah, like I said, it does feel like it's set, so you probably wouldn't even need to use a powder, but because I have oily skin, which I think I failed to mention, I have very oily skin as a little background. Basically, all I will do is set it with the matte maker, but I want to go in with my concealer and other products first. I'm going to go in with, instead of my Pro Longwear, and see how that goes on. Sometimes it's all about trial and error, so I'm just taking it on my ring finger and plucking that underneath my eye. Okay, so with that Pro Longwear underneath my eyes, my skin does look really flawless right now. So I'm just going to apply this on any blemishes, and this is my skin toned colour, so it's not going to highlight any blemishes. I just want to kind of see how this concealer blends in to the foundation. Okay, so I actually like how that Pro Longwear has gone on top of the foundation. My skin is a lot more flawless now, and it is definitely more the sort of coverage I was looking for. So personally, I wouldn't say that this foundation is full coverage. From looking in the viewfinder, my skin looks fairly good, but I had to apply the concealer on top of that. My skin is still darker than my body, so it's definitely more of a fake tan colour. I am in the Maybelline Dream Velvet. I am the shade Natural, which is the first one. In the Pro Longwear concealer, I'm NW20, so that just gives you a little reference of my skin tone if you are looking at this foundation. So the one I have is number 1 Rose Ivory, which when I thought about rose, I thought it would be more pink toned, but like I said, it is definitely more yellow toned. So before I finish the rest of my face, I'm just going to set it in place and show you how the powder looks over the top. So for powder today, I'm using the matte maker from Maybelline. This is shade number 20 Nude Beige, which is a good match for my normal skin tone. So it might lighten this down, I don't know. So all I'm doing is taking it on an E2 Morphe brush, which is from their Elite range, and I'm just pressing this product over. So my skin looks very flawless now. When I first only used the foundation, completely hated it. Like I said, it's obviously a different colour to my skin, which is why I brought it down. But you can kind of see now that it's a lot more flawless now that I've used that Pro Longwear concealer and also the setting powder. My skin is very matte, which I kind of like, but at the same time, I do like to add a little bit of setting spray to make it look a little bit more natural. But like I said, I'm going to go away and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back, give you a little review of how I am feeling about it then. But basically right now I'm completely hated it when it was just foundation alone, but now it's powdered and got the concealer on, I kind of like it. Unfortunately the colour is different to my skin, which is why I've had to bring it down my neck. But the time is currently 11:50, so I'm a bit late today. But like I said, I will go and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and I will go away, come back, go away, come back, and give you a review throughout the day. So I will talk to you in a couple of seconds. Okay, so I am now back and the time is currently 4:30. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it is oxygenized, is that the correct word? And my skin has got even more tan and I look even more tanned. And yeah, it's definitely not matching like my arms or anything, or my hands even. So I feel like I'm even more bronzed than what I was already. I did try to help correct that using brightening products and sort of skin toned shades that I would tend to use, sort of like with my concealer and with my powder products and stuff. So I applied my makeup and I think I applied it about 11:30 this morning, so that has then been 5 hours I think. And as you can see, my skin has started to get a bit of a glow to it. I wouldn't necessarily say that it is oily, but you can see like here and on my forehead it is just getting a little bit shiny. So all I'm doing, like I always do, is just go in with a couple of sheets of toilet roll. I don't really see what the foundation is looking like underneath these shiny patches. All I've done is blotted my skin and that looks 100 times better already because I haven't got that shine. Now if we look at the product itself, as you can see, my blush is still on, my contour's still there, my bronzer is still there. It's held the product up very well. But where I have been blotting away the product, the colour has been transferring a lot, which I kind of expect when I've got oily skin, but I can't really see any patches as such where it's completely lifted off and there's no coverage anymore. So it does look fairly good on my skin still, apart from the fact that it did get oily and did get shiny, and the fact that it's not my colour. So it's okay. It's one of those foundations that I could live without, but like I keep saying, I wanted to get it so I could do a first impression for you. So I'm going to go pick up Luke from work, and then I think we're going to go food shopping and possibly go and see a house, and then I'll be back to do an update, and hopefully I remember this time because last time I forgot and did it the next day. So I will talk to you all in a few more hours. So I am now back for my final check-in of this first impression. It's now coming up to 9:15, so I've worked out I've had the foundation on my skin for just over 9 hours, if that is correct. I don't know if you can tell, I hope you can. My skin has started to get oily again. I apologise for this lighting situation, but it's the only way I can do it when it is nighttime outside. I've also taken off my false eyelashes and lipstick, so I'm looking a little bit tired and a little bit undone right now. Like I said, you can see my skin has got shiny again, so bearing in mind when I last checked in with you, I only blotted my skin with tissue. I didn't apply any additional product or any powder over the top, and I thought I would be a lot oilier than what I am right now. So the shine control is better than I thought. When I first applied the product, it was very patchy, and by itself it's very patchy, which I don't like. When applied with the concealers that I used, it did become more flawless, and set with the powder it was more flawless. And I don't know if you can tell, I don't think you can tell on screen, my contour, my blush and my highlight is still on my face. My brows are completely intact still. Everything is intact apart from my nose area. So I'm not sure if I've just rubbed it on something and taken off the product. I may have blown my nose, and obviously around my chin, because when you eat I always end up wiping off the makeup from my chin. But I'm fairly pleased shine wise. I thought it was going to be a lot shinier. I know it's really difficult to tell in this light if I come a bit closer, but I don't know if you can see, but obviously my nose is showing the redness through, whereas here is the blush and the contour still. My overall impression of this foundation, this is a 30ml bottle, which is 1 fluid ounce, and it is in a squeezable tube, which I do like. I do like the packaging on this because it is very easy to control and to get out and everything like that. So I wouldn't say it's a 24-hour hold. I have a very oily skin. That's a little background of my skin. I think I did mention it at the start. So I wouldn't say it's 24-hour hold, but it could be if I blot and powder and just keep on top of that throughout the day. It was very patchy to apply. I hated it when I first applied it onto my skin. Obviously, you need to be careful if you are on the fair side like myself. This shade was definitely way too dark for me, and this is the lightest shade that they do. It's just shade number 1, so I'm guessing it is the lightest shade that they will do in that range. Product alone, I do not like it, and I don't think it was worth £10 I think I spent on it. I don't think it was worth that particularly. It may be a little more oil controlling than certain other foundations, but I wouldn't necessarily say that the prime side looks any better than the non-prime side. I can't really tell any difference. So I'm happy with the shine control. I feel like it has controlled it a little better than what I assumed, but definitely do not like the product on its own. In combination with other products, so you can build it up and it can look very flawless, but I don't know if it's just the techniques that I used. I tried applying it with a beauty blender and also a kabuki style brush. Hated both of those techniques, so I'm not sure how you are supposed to apply this, but if you do own this foundation and you do love it, then please let me know in the comments below. Overall, I do not like this foundation on its own, but just using this product and using the techniques that I used, didn't get on with it very well at all. So if you do own this foundation, you do get on with it, then please let me know how you apply it in the comments down below and what your skin type is as well. If you have any foundations or any other products you would like a first impression review on, then please let me know again in the comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, especially this one. And I really hope you enjoyed this First Impression Friday video, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Nah.